Hello and welcome back. I'm on a roll. What I'd like to do now is to talk about two energies which exist within you and within me. They're called masculine and feminine. Now, when I refer, and hopefully in some of the previous recordings I may have referred to something about a masculine and feminine, I'm using the term as energies. An example would be, obviously as a man, my core is masculine, and if you're a woman, your core is feminine. However, due to my previous conditions, by my parents, my peers and so on, it may well be that I am either more masculine or more feminine in some of the actions or non-actions that I take. What do I mean? Well, just imagine that I'm having a feminine moment, I'm on the phone to you, yeah? So we're having a conversation. Where should we go tonight? I don't know, where do you want to go? Well, should we go to the pub tonight? Yeah, well, which pub do you want to go? Well, I don't know which pub do you want to go to. Maybe we could go for a meal. Would you like to go for a meal? Well, I could go for a meal, yeah. Where do you want to eat? There is an Italian restaurant, there is that Chinese restaurant. I don't know, what do you think? You know, we can't make a decision, right? Because we're in our feminine. It's like, what's the point in a woman in a feminine having a conversation? It's the conversation, yeah? While a man in his masculine picks up the phone, hasn't spoken to a bloke. How you doing, mate? Haven't seen you, looking forward. When, time, location, great, see you then, bye. I haven't seen them for 19 years. Doesn't matter. That's it. We'll meet up with them, we'll discuss it. Yeah? Well, if it was a woman in a feminine, could be a man in his feminine. Now, what I understand about masculine and feminine, the feminine is very much most things. It's things that move, emotion. Emotion is created by motion, very much the feminine. Energy, light, movement. Imagine going to a pub, and mostly the men in their masculine are going to be standing at the bar with a pint in their hand, not with Power Darko tea, and the women are going to be dancing and moving and chattering away. Yeah, and man by the bar, sipping his pint. That is a classic example of, say, the masculine in the masculine and a feminine in the feminine. But we can be both. The question is, when does it serve? Because here's the problem that I found with my clients. The man goes to work in his masculine, getting stuff done. The woman goes to work getting stuff done, also in a masculine state. She wears trousers, maybe working at a bank or climbing the corporate ladder. She comes home and she's in her masculine still, on the front line, yeah, with all her guns and everything, so to speak. And he's still in his masculine, and he's been over the front line as well. Two masculines, there's north, there's south, there's north and south. What happens? They repel. Not sexy. So what's required to happen? Well, instantly the man could step up to the plate, play the masculine role, and maybe he could massage his wife without an expectation that she will change and go into a feminine. Maybe he's dimmed the lights, run the bath, lit some candles, maybe even put some organics burning scents around the place. Done something such that his wife or his partner can then change. That's just a simple example. The point I'm making here is understand when you are in a specific state, masculine or feminine, which is or is not serving you. The feminine is very much about motion, emotion. It's about talking. It's about, like I am now, I'm very much in my feminine. Movement is all feminine. Now, if I was going to summarize, I'm probably 70-30. 70% masculine and 30% feminine. You know, sometimes out of a weekend, if I've been working predominantly Monday to Friday, I don't want to make a decision. I want my partner, Sarah, to make a decision for me. Yeah? But then, maybe she's in her feminine, so we don't get anything done. Oh, that means I've got to get my guns back on and over the front line and make a decision. Well, we're going to go here, we're going to do this or whatever. The point is, just be aware of it when it is or isn't serving you, and instantly you can then switch if you're required to. Now, I very much like to be or play the role of a child, because remember, we are all children, we just carry the persona of an adult, or we attire ourselves as an adult. Just be aware of that, because you, like me, if you're listening to this, you are a child. I know sometimes we've got to be an adult and sometimes we've got to play the parent role and so on. However, don't get stuck there. Don't get stuck in the child mode either. But understand those energies, masculine and feminine, and how they can or cannot serve you, and how it can be when your ego's engaged, because that'll destroy a loving relationship when you get home as a man and a woman. And how you can change those roles, because when I refer to masculine and feminine, I'm referring to them as energies, and they're in both of us. But the level of which will either serve or not serve us, depending on the other person. And the other person, whatever relationship I have, I take 50% responsibility to that relationship or that situation. So masculine and feminine, hopefully that's given you a brief understanding of what it is. Another classic one, I read a lot of David Data's work, and I've got to give full credit here to a gentleman called Satyen Raja, who's from warriorsage.com, and that gentleman reminded me, and he's written a book, and I know David Data's written lots, the Blue Truth that I've read, Intimate Communion, The Way of a Superior Man, Dear Lover, those are just 4 examples, great books, understanding about the masculine and feminine energies. I invite you, read those books, see what you get from them. But if you imagine I'm a bloke, imagine I'm the banks of a river, and imagine that your woman is the river. Now the idea isn't for me, my masculine, to direct and control the feminine. That's not the role. What I'm required to do is just to be those solid banks. No matter how violent or how calm the water or the feminine is, I'm just going to be those solid banks. And often what happens is the feminine will often test the masculine. Don't take it personally. Just understand she's testing those banks. Are they strong enough? And if they are, you haven't got another challenge. But if you're not, and she breaks over, oh dear, greater challenges in your life. So just be those solid banks and allow her to be the river and to flow. Another example would be, imagine you're a ship on the ocean. That's the masculine. And we know exactly where our direction is. We're on purpose. That's the masculine. This is where we are. This is where we want to get to. And the ocean might be very calm. Not a problem. The boat's going there. However, if the feminine, in this case the water, decides to get violent and stormy, what happens? If the boat's not sure to where it's going, the masculine's not sure, it will then sink, creating greater challenges. So be sure, beginning with the end in mind, where you want to get to. Remember, the only thing a man can offer is his word. His word is law. And often the feminine, or I should say a woman in a feminine, will pick up on the BS of a man. That means his bullshit, or his belief system. Hopefully those 2 examples. So all I'm asking for the men, for you men in your masculine out there. Now obviously if you're in a relationship where you are gay, still in that relationship, another partner, whether it's man and woman, 2 women, one of you is going to take one side than the other. More play the masculine role than the feminine, and there will be balance hopefully brought in. If not, the ego's engaged. Hopefully that's been useful. Thank you for listening. Enjoy your day. Bye for now.